Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk to you about something that changed my life completely. How I transformed my lazy, slow, unproductive mornings into active, energetic, meaningful mornings that set the tone for my entire day. And what I'm going to share with you isn't theory. It isn't one of those just wake up early and everything changes type of videos. No, this is my real journey, my real struggle, my real transformation. From hitting the snooze button 5 times to actually looking forward to waking up every single morning here in Austin, Texas. I used to be that guy who woke up late, dragged myself out of bed, opened my phone first thing, scrolled Instagram for 45 minutes, skipped breakfast, rushed out of the house, and then wondered, why do I feel so tired all day? Why is everything stressful? Why am I not improving in life? And it took me years to understand one thing. Your morning controls your day, and your day controls your life. But understanding that wasn't the real challenge. Changing my habits was. Because I was lazy, I'll admit it. I wanted to be productive, but I didn't want to do the work. I wanted to feel energetic, but I didn't change anything that drained my energy. I wanted a better life, but I wasn't willing to change my mornings, the most powerful part of the day. Everything changed for me one morning, and I'll tell you exactly what happened step by step, deeply, honestly, and practically, so that you can use every technique I discovered. Before we go deeper into the story, let me ask you 2 questions, and I want you to answer them in the comments box. 1. Do you feel your mornings are lazy, rushed, or unorganized? 2. If you could change one thing about your morning routine, what would it be? Drop your answers below, because your comment is the beginning of your transformation journey. How my lazy mornings controlled my life. Let me take you back to the time when my mornings were a complete mess. At that time, I was living in Columbus, Ohio, sharing an apartment with one of my friends. My job was not stressful, but because my morning was lazy, everything else became stressful. The day always felt heavy, even if I didn't have much work. My alarm would ring at 7 a.m., and I would do the most dangerous thing a lazy person can do. I would hit snooze. Not once, not twice. Sometimes 4 or 5 times. My bed was warm. My body was tired. My mind had zero motivation. So I stayed under the blanket, scrolling through my phone, watching random videos, checking notifications, all while wasting the most productive hour of the day. By the time I finally got up, it was already 8:15 or even 8:30 a.m. I would rush through brushing my teeth, skip breakfast because I was running late, and grab a sugary coffee from a cafe downstairs. Because I was late, I never had a calm start. Little things irritated me. My energy crashed early. My productivity dropped. My creativity died. And slowly, laziness became my identity. People around me noticed. You always look tired. Why are you always rushing? You should really fix your morning routine. I hated hearing it, but they were right. The breaking point. The morning everything changed. The real transformation began on one random Tuesday morning. It was raining outside. My alarm rang, and I did what I always did. Hit snooze. But something different happened that day. My phone slipped from my hand, fell on the floor, and the sound was so loud that it woke my roommate. He came into the room, still half asleep, and said, "Bro, your morning routine is ruining your whole life. You keep saying you want to improve, but your habits say the opposite." Those words, they hit me harder than anything I had heard in years. It wasn't rude. It wasn't insulting. It was true. And the truth hurts in a way that shakes your heart. That day, I went to work feeling embarrassed, frustrated, and disappointed in myself. I kept thinking, how did I let myself get this lazy? Why am I allowing my mornings to control me? What kind of life am I creating with these habits? That night, I made a promise to myself. Not a big promise, not a dramatic one, not a social media declaration, just one simple commitment. Tomorrow morning, I will wake up and do one thing differently. Not everything, not a perfect routine, just one thing. And that was the beginning. The first step, changing. One small habit. The next morning, when my alarm rang, I didn't hit snooze. Not because I had the energy, not because I was motivated, not because I suddenly became a morning person. I got up because of one small trick that changed everything for me. I had put my phone across the room. The night before. So when the alarm rang, I had to physically get out of bed to turn it off. This simple change broke the laziness pattern. I didn't feel fresh. I didn't feel energized. I didn't feel excited. But I was standing. I was awake. I was out of the bed. And that moment made me realize something powerful. You don't need motivation to start. You just need to break the pattern that keeps you lazy. This one habit alone, keeping the phone away from the bed, became the seed of my transformation. The second step, the 2-minute morning activation. The next few days, I added another habit that changed my mornings completely. A simple 2-minute routine. 1. I walked to the bathroom. 2. I splashed cold water on my face 3 times. 3. I took one deep breath. 4. I whispered to myself, "Today, I choose energy." It sounds small. It sounds simple. But it works. Because when you tell your body what to do before your mind starts complaining, you win. And for the first time in years, my mornings started feeling lighter. Not perfect, just a little better. But every change begins with a little better. The real transformation. Building a morning that works. After 10 days of consistency, something unexpected happened. I began to enjoy mornings, not because they were easy, but because they were mine. My life was no longer controlled by laziness or rush. I was finally in control. And from there, I built a full morning routine that took me from lazy to active, from tired to energetic, from confused to clear, from unmotivated to driven. And I will explain every part in deep detail in the upcoming sections. Morning mindset rewiring. Energy activation techniques. The 3 morning mistakes that make you lazy. How to win the first 10 minutes of the day. The science behind becoming an active person. How to stay consistent. How to love waking up early. The habits that changed my life. and the routine that completely transformed my mornings. Part 2. The psychological reason we stay lazy in the morning. When I started studying why I was lazy every morning, I realized something shocking. Morning laziness is not about your body. Morning laziness is about your brain. Our brain has two sides that fight every morning. The lazy brain, comfort mind. This part says, stay in bed. 5 more minutes. You're tired. Do it later. Skip today. It loves. Comfort. Warm blankets. Avoiding discomfort. Delaying action. Staying safe. It is powerful because this part of the brain loves predictable comfort, and your warm bed is the most comfortable place in the world. The active brain, growth mind. This part says, wake up. Let's improve today. Your goals matter. You can do this. This part wants progress, energy, achievement, health, success. So every morning you are in a silent battle. Comfort versus growth. Warmth versus movement. Sleep versus action. Old habits versus new identity. When you wake up and hit snooze, you're telling your brain, comfort wins. When you get up immediately, you're telling your brain, growth wins. What changed my life was not waking up earlier. It was changing which voice I listened to. Why mornings decide your identity. I realized something deep. The first decision you make in the morning defines the type of person you become that day. If your first decision is snooze, avoid, delay, not today, you actually weaken your identity. But if your first decision is get up, take action, move your body, start with intention, you strengthen your identity. Your morning is your first victory, your first win, your first proof that you are becoming a better version of yourself. And if you win your morning, you can win your day. This realization changed everything for me. The 3 morning mistakes that make you lazy. When I studied my habits, I found that my laziness came from 3 major mistakes. And the moment I fixed these, I became a different person. Let me break them down clearly. Mistake 1. Checking the phone. First thing. This one is deadly. When you check your phone the moment you wake up, your brain instantly switches into stress mode, comparison mode, distraction mode, passive mode. Your brain gets overloaded with notifications, messages, social media, news, videos, ads, emails. So instead of waking up slowly and calmly, your mind gets attacked immediately. Research shows that checking your phone early morning lowers your attention, creativity, focus, willpower. I noticed that on days I checked my phone immediately, I stayed lazy, I stayed unproductive. My mood got worse. I had no motivation, so I made a rule. No phone for the first 30 minutes after waking up. This rule alone made my mornings peaceful. Mistake 2. Sleeping too late. Most people try to fix their morning, but the real problem is their night. If you sleep at 1:30 a.m., Waking up at 6:30 a.m. will always feel like torture. No morning routine can fix bad sleep. When I was going to bed late every night in Columbus, I destroyed my mornings without realizing. So I started closing my day properly. No screens 45 minutes before bed. Dim lights. Cool room temperature. Reading instead of scrolling. Calming music. No heavy meals late at night. Just doing this helped me fall asleep faster and wake up smoother. Mistake 3. Starting the morning without a plan. This was a huge one. If you wake up and think, what should I do? Where do I start? What's the plan? Your brain gets confused, and confusion leads to laziness. So I changed one thing. I planned my morning the night before. I wrote down, wake up time, first action, small routine, morning goal. So when I woke up, I didn't need to think. I just followed the plan. This one simple habit took away all the confusion. The first 10 minutes, the most important moment of the day. I learned something powerful. The first 10 minutes decide whether your morning becomes active or lazy. Here's how I structured those 10 minutes. Minute 1 to 2. Stand up and turn off alarm. I didn't allow myself to think or negotiate. Get up, move, no excuses. Minute 3. Drink a water. Because your body is dehydrated after 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Minute 4 to 5. Splash cold water on face. Instant wake-up signal to the brain. Minute 6 to 7. Deep breathing. I did 5 slow breaths. Inhale 4 seconds. Exhale 6 seconds. Minute 8. Light stretch. Neck, shoulders, back. Nothing heavy. Minute 9 to 10. Set intention. I said one powerful sentence. I choose energy today. These 10 minutes changed my entire mindset. Your day doesn't begin with productivity. Your day begins with state. And a powerful state creates a powerful day. Why motivation doesn't work in the morning. People always ask, how do you motivate yourself in the morning? And I tell them the truth. Motivation is useless in the morning. You are never motivated when you first wake up. Your brain is half asleep. Your body is stiff. Your energy is low. Your mind wants comfort, so motivation cannot help you. But 3 things can. 1. Systems. A routine that activates you automatically. 2. Environment. A setup that prevents laziness. 3. Identity. Becoming the kind of person who wakes up early naturally. When you change these things, you don't need motivation at all. Your new habits pull you forward. The exact moment. My identity started changing. One morning, around 6:45 a.m., I woke up before the alarm. Not because I was forced to, not because I had work, not because I had a reason. I woke up naturally. And that moment changed me because I realized my body had become the kind of body that wakes up early. My mind had become the kind of mind that chooses action. My identity had become the identity of an active person. It wasn't overnight. It wasn't magic. It was daily choices, small choices, repeated choices, identity-shaping choices. And that's when I understood something. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent enough for your identity to shift. That identity shift is what makes waking up early easy and natural. The turning point, the morning ritual. That transformed me after a few weeks. I built a morning ritual that became the foundation of my transformation. This ritual wasn't copied from anyone. It wasn't unrealistic. It wasn't complicated. It was simple, natural, and perfect for my life. Here's what it looked like. 1. Wake up. No negotiation, no snooze. 2. Water plus face wash. Instant energy boost. 3. Light stretching. Because a relaxed body equals an active mind. 4. Gratitude moment. I said 3 things I was grateful for. 5. Outside air. I stepped outside my apartment in Austin, Texas, and breathed fresh morning air. 6. Movement. A 5-minute walk. Only 5 minutes. That was my rule. 7. No phone. The world could wait. 8. Set my day intention. I chose a word. Energy, focus, confidence, peace, growth. 9. Warm light breakfast. Oatmeal, fruit, eggs, or toast.